Happy Wednesday, everyone! Welcome to Ed Talk TV, Conversations Worth Having. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Matter of fact, let me know in the comments, even if you're watching this on Thursday, Friday, Sunday, it doesn't matter. If this is your first time joining, welcome. I'm your host, Ed Troxel, and this is a business talk show. That means we talk about business, tech, and the user experience. We cover so much in this daily show. We go live Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you just never know how much good you're going to get out of these episodes. We try to have the title, kind of give you a little bit of an idea. Excuse me. See, I get all choked up because it's like the title is just a small portion. So feel free to let me know in the comments how your day is going. Share this out with friends. I'm going to do a little housekeeping in terms of letting you guys know who are new or who just need a reminder of what's going on. I'm going to put this all in one comment for you. Hopefully it works. And share this with you. So later in the comments, you can take a look. I put in 3 links. I know, 3 links. Ed, what are you doing? Let me explain. The first one is your start here. Basically, if you're trying to learn more from me, you want to work with me, you want to join the Hey Ed community, any of the above, join my email list, which is free, and you get a weekly recap. All of that good stuff is at checkwithed.com. That takes you to my main website. Boom, it's all right there for you. The next link is if you want to come on live next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday, to join me and celebrate our 100th episode. Can you believe it? We've been doing Ed Talk TV for almost 100 episodes. It's crazy. So that's a link you can do there. And then also your third link there is a new training. So a new workshop that I'm doing next week, Wednesday. Won't be here on the page. It is a private paid training. If you're a Hey Ed member, you actually get it for free. So you can become a Hey Ed member. It's definitely well worth it. Or if you just want to take the workshop, you can do that as well. That link has all the information there for you. So there is that info. And of course, always let me know in the comments, what you're up to these days, because I know a lot of you tune in on the weekends, and so you can't really catch this, or you're driving, or you're taking care of the kids, cooking dinner and all that stuff. I get it. It's awesome. It's fine. So we're going to take a look. I'm just going to make sure we're good on here. Hey, Vicky. Hey. Super excited. Since Vicky popped on, I might as well say it, that thank you so much, Vicky. I know, 100 episodes. Isn't that crazy? I want to give a quick shout out to Vicky and Mickey and Erica and a few more of you guys who have been sending me the videos. If you don't know what that is or what I'm talking about, let me explain. I have a fun creative project that I'm working on, and it's called Who is Ed? So if you want to participate, you can. All you have to do, and you don't have to go live. This isn't like a live broadcasting thing. You can just pick up your phone, flip it sideways so it's in landscape, and record yourself. It could be a short clip. It doesn't have to be anything long, but you record yourself saying, "Who is Ed?" And then you go in and you say exactly what's on your mind. I want your raw thoughts. And then you can send that to me. You can do that on Facebook Messenger if you like. That's the easiest, and I can save it. Hey, Jennifer. So you can do that. It's super easy. If you want to email it to me, that's fine. Just hit me up in the comments. Hey, Katrina. All of that. So it's a fun project, and I've been watching some of the videos come in, and you guys are so cool, so awesome. It's not where you have to fluff things up. No, I want your real, honest, who is Ed, all of that, and it's so cool, and I can't wait to share with you guys the project once I get more videos and put them together. So it'll be fun. That's a thing for all of us. So anyway, there's that, and for those just tuning in, be sure later to check the comments. I put all the links in one spot for you. Talks about where to start with me, get on my email list, and then also celebrate our 100th episode. If you're around, you can come on live next Friday. And then also the new workshop that's going to be next week. It's a paid one, but if you're a Hey Ed member, you get it for free. So there is that. Now, let's talk about some random news. We have some fun ones today before we jump into today's content, which we're going to be talking about 9 ways to increase your engagement on social media. How many of you, even if you're watching the replay, how many of you guys are like, yes, please. Yes, please. We'll get into a little bit of what we talked about yesterday. But first, let's get into some random news because it's kind of random today, I will say. So let me go ahead and share the screen with you. Let me make sure I'm on the right one. What if I told you there's a new business out there? Say hello to Miniature Mail. Yes, this is a thing. It is miniature mail that you can have delivered for $9.99. So almost $10, and you can send your very own little letter. Now, I don't know. Tell me how you feel about this in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. I think it's funny to see, like, this is cool, great image. But it's a Florida-based company, and they specialize in designing and mailing customized tiny letters. They're the smallest letters I've ever seen. And, of course, my first thought was, well, what happens to the mail if it's this small? How are people going to find this? And how are they going to get delivered? Because chances are that's going to be lost in the mail. Well, thanks to them thinking outside the box and realizing that that would be a problem. See, that's part of your market research, and that's part of your diving into your product. Jennifer says, I can't wait to tune into your golden nuggets. I have to pop out, but I'll check back later. No problem. Catch the replay, Jennifer. Have a good day. So when it comes to, business, hey, Aaron, welcome. When it comes to the business, we're just talking about random news and how we have these new miniature snail mail. So this is a thing, and it's a Florida-based business. They started back on May 5th, so not too long ago, in honor of National Small Business Week. They have big plans to spread cheer in technology-obsessed world. Now, hey, Paula, welcome. Now, let me ask you, what do you think of this? What do you think of a miniature mail? Miniature mail. Is this something that you would buy? Hey, Whit, welcome. Good to see you. Is this something that you would buy somebody? It's $10 basically to send a letter. And here's the funny thing. Mickey, I totally thought of you of this, and she's probably not on right now, but when she comes on, she'll see. I totally thought of this because yesterday we talked about random, products that are out there, like the ripped up jeans, the no jeans really. I mean, they're denim that hangs on the side of you, but they're not really jeans. And Mickey was talking about how she's got, invisible t-shirts for sale. And so I thought about what's coming up here. See, look how small that is. Is that something that you would be into? I mean, honest opinion, is that something that you actually want to buy for someone or to send to somebody? I'm not, everyone's going to be different on this, but I'm just curious. For me, that's not really a thing. I don't know. And then I wonder how this goes, because you're printing, so there's a cost. You're mailing, so there's a cost. I don't know. I would like to know more about the business model and long term here. So see, this is what I love about having you guys on. Let me come back onto the screen. We gotta talk for a second. This is what I love about having you guys on live, is because you guys it takes a while for my screen to flip over. There we go. I love that you guys are, this is what it's all about for this show, right? We're able to analyze and go through and look at different businesses that pop up and ask ourselves why. Like Aaron Miller said, why? Vicky says not really. Like, this is all beta testing, basically. This is all just market research, to be honest. This is what we are just brainstorming. We take an idea, so there's this miniature mail. We take this idea, and then we ask ourselves, why? Why would people want this? Why would people, and this is for any business, not just miniature mail. This is any business. Why would people want this? Why would they spend $10 for this little thing? Sure, it's cute. Vicky says it's cute, but cheaper to write a normal letter and post it. Yeah, it's there. And then Vicky says no stamps is that small. Yeah, so they're obviously, I don't even know. Do they get a discount on stamps? Like, can stamps be discounted? Because technically you could probably send, I don't know, 5 or 10 of these letters to equal one letter. Speaking of stamps for a second, I don't mail things very much. I'll just be honest. I don't mail things. Everything is credit card or online. Like, if I got to mail something, that's an inconvenience. It just really is, because I don't have any stamps. So then I had to go to the UPS store. I checked my mail anyway. And then I had to buy a stamp. It was 75 cents for a stamp. I was like, What happened to stamps? I thought they were like 40 cents or something, 42 cents. Now I realize that they probably have a markup because of the convenience factor. So I'm guessing that's what it was. But I was like, dang, 75 cents for one stamp? Come on. It's ridiculous. So Aaron says, I've designed a lot of print pieces. Pretty sure that doesn't meet postal regulations. How are they sending these? I'm glad you asked, Aaron, because that was the first thought that came to my mind, was how are they sending this? And this is where that comment I mentioned about Mickey comes up, because Mickey has those invisible t-shirts for sale, as we were joking about yesterday. So take a look at how they mail it. Oh, you're still watching me. I gotta change the screen. There we go. Look at that. So they still put it in a regular size envelope so it doesn't get lost. Smart. But I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. I don't even know I don't think I would even do this just for a fun little thing. One, it's too dang small. Like who can read that? Especially if you send it to somebody who's a little bit older than you. Like, we're not trying to go small, we're trying to go bigger. So it's just interesting. It's just really interesting to see all of that. So there's that one. And then what I wanted to, Vicky's laughing, what I wanted to share with you is Taylor Swift. So Aaron says, transparent envelope. That was my guess. I still wouldn't bother with it though. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Let's just be honest. That's a lot of work that's going into something for $10 that I just don't know if there's a market for this. This is like a Shark Tank episode, okay? It's one of those things that we really have to understand how much is it costing them to make these, print these, and mail them. How much is that demand, and how much will that demand be? Paula says she's scratching her head. Yeah, again, like we talked about yesterday, if you missed yesterday's episode, you got to watch it. You can take a look, checkwithed.com, click on shows, and then you can find the Ed Talk TV episodes. But it's one of those things that you have to think, okay, I got the idea, now what? Let me brainstorm a little bit. Let me sit on it for a minute. Let me go ahead and keep going. You know, for instance, last night I think it was, I was so inspired by all of our brainstorming talk, that last night I actually started to brainstorm some taglines, I guess, for the Hey Ed community. So you can find that at checkwithed.com. But I was trying to come up with some one-liners to just sum it up and just be like, boom, done. Just like Visa has it, and McDonald's, and I don't know, almost every big brand. So I was testing these out inside the group, and it was interesting to go ahead and play with the different ones that come to mind. But again, I did that on purpose so that everyone could see that you just don't run with the first thing that comes to mind. You keep building on it. You keep tweaking it, because it may sound great in the moment, but then you realize later, if you pause and come back to it, you realize later that, oh, that wasn't that good. We don't really have a market. Here's what we talk about all the time, right? We made sales today, but what about tomorrow? What about the next day? What about next week? What about next month? What about next year? That's the thing that you don't want to do. You don't want to be about the sale today. You want to be about the relationship over time. And so, I don't know, with this, how did this come about? That's what I want to know. I want to know more of the backstory, because we all have stories. So I want to know more of the backstory. I want to know more about, okay, did you brainstorm a lot? And if you did, then how did it develop to this? And how did you know that there was a market for this? And how big is that market? And how long will that market be for? Because I'll tell you right now, there's apps on the phone, if you didn't know this, where you could, whoops, I was calling my dad back. Not now. So there's apps on your phone where you can create your own greeting cards, digital and print, and then send it and be done. That's a thing. It's awesome. So I don't know, and I'm all about paper, don't get me wrong. It would be awesome to have the actual paper, but again, you have to do your market research. Aaron says, "Oh, I got to work on my tagline too." Yeah, it's all there. I think, Aaron, I have something in the group. I think I have a tagline article in there, or it's coming. I can't remember. Just keep an eye out for that. So the other thing I wanted to point out today was Taylor Swift. So I don't know how many of you guys. I don't really follow Taylor, but how many of you guys kind of know that there's whoa. It just totally how many of you guys know that there's some beef, or there's been beef between her and Kim Kardashian, even if you're watching the replay? I don't really follow it. I hear about it every so often. And there's this article today talking about her first show of her new album, Reputation. And the reason I wanted to bring it up was because it ties into social media. It ties into what we've talked about on the show about the Be Best campaign that somebody rolled out this week. If you didn't watch that episode, that was a good one. You should watch that. That was Monday's episode, actually. So it all ties into what we've been talking about. And so in this article, they're talking about how Taylor Swift was speaking up about her, she didn't say the person's name, but it was basically Kim Kardashian beef, where apparently a while back, Kim had called her, I'll just read the quote because she has it in there. So Taylor said, quote, "A couple of years ago, someone called me a snake on social media and it caught on. And then a lot of people called me a lot of names on social media. I guess the snakes, I wanted to send a message to you guys that if someone uses name calling to bully you on social media, and even if a lot of people jump on board with it, that doesn't have to defeat you. It can strengthen you instead." So again, she's shifting it. She's making that little tweak there, right? And it goes into what we always talk about is, and there's more I'm going to get to in a second, but it goes back to some of you are afraid to turn on your reviews on Facebook or ask people for reviews because you're afraid to get that bad review. But then you're closing off all of those good reviews and all of those things that can brighten your day. So just turn it on and ask for those reviews. And then when you get something that maybe you consider bad, just filter through it and see what opportunities are there and then keep it moving. And so I just really like how she tweaked this in her favor. And actually, I mean, entrepreneurship, I always think of entrepreneurship so much like artists because they're always ideally working on some song, some big song, and there's usually always just one or two maybe hit wonders, even though they've created hundreds of other songs that we've probably never heard of and that have made it to their album, but we don't really hear them on the radio or anything because it's usually that one song. It's basically the same thing for entrepreneurship. We are always trying to keep up. We're always trying to work on something and pivot and see what works, but we're not very patient sometimes, so we turn on to something else and then this and then that. And then we realize we've done all these things and we kind of got some things, but it's just crazy. So I don't know. I don't know if you can connect those dots, but I see, and I mean artists are entrepreneurs anyway, but I see that those two relate really well to each other. They always keep coming up in my mind. So the other thing that Taylor had said there was, quote, "I think the lesson is that you shouldn't care so much if you feel misunderstood by a lot of people who don't know you. As long as you feel understood by the people you do know and the people that do know you, the people who show up for you, and the people who see you as a human being." Man, she just described all of you guys. How cool is that? That's why I always tell you, don't worry about your followers. Don't worry about all the likes. Worry about that engagement. Worry about showing up, delivering, and engaging, and getting into that conversation. That's going to build your relationships. That's going to build your engagement here on social media. I had to look at my notes because I went off for a second. That's the stuff that you want to be about. Don't get caught up in all those comments that happen and all the, XYZs. No. Just look at it, filter, and keep it moving. I will say this because you guys have heard me say this before, but those who are new, because this happens weekly in promo threads on Facebook. And if you're doing this, no problem. This is your opportunity to flip it, to make a little tweak, to make it better. When you are promoting your stuff, your business, your services, your whatevers, in Facebook promo threads, people have promo threads on their pages, in their groups, whatever. When you are promoting, do not say, I need X amount of likes or X amount of followers. That is a dead statement. It's not a good look. That means nothing. Every time I see that, and it happens every week, every time I see that, I just want to reply in a nice way, but I don't reply because I feel like since they don't know me, it might come off as like a dick move or something. I don't know. But for me, it's like, I just want to reply, why? Why do you need that number? What does that number signify? Because it doesn't signify how much engagement you're getting. You know, we talk about this all the time, and most of you guys are regular viewers, so you know that it comes down to that engagement. And I'd rather have 2, 3, 5, 10 of you literally going hard in the comments and engaging with one another, not just me, but everyone, and run with that number, than have 100 or 200 or 500 followers that don't even do anything. Like, that doesn't mean anything. That's why I'm so happy to see my number here on the page. If you're watching me on Facebook, my following number is higher than my like number. That's a good thing, because that means that people are not only coming to my page, but they're following my page because they want to see my content. They're switching it to see first, and then that way they can see this. If you want to take it a step further, then you just add me to your calendar and say Ed goes live at 4 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday, and then you never miss out. But, you know, that's the steps that you got to go through. So really, when you do stuff like that, just tweak it. Instead of saying, so here, I'll give you an example. Instead of saying, I need, 10 more likes or 5 more followers, that means nothing to nobody. It doesn't. So instead, provide some value. Say, if you are an entrepreneur who is looking for great tools and resources and having fun with fellow entrepreneurs, check out my page. I share XYZ. Isn't that a little more inviting? I don't know. Tell me in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. Doesn't that feel more of don't you feel more of a connection with that? Where you're like, oh, my interest is sparked. I will click your link. I will check out your page. Thank you. You know, there's often times where I tell people in the comments, I said, don't like or follow my page until you review the content. And I tell them, entrepreneur, we talk a lot about business, tech, and the user experience. Check out my page if you like it, or if you enjoy the content, like and follow my page. But don't do that if that's not what it's worth, because I don't want to take up time in your feed. It's wasting your time and my time. Nobody needs that. So, just approach it a little differently, because then you stand out, right? You're not like everyone else where it's like me, buy, sell. No, you're now giving me a reason, a good reason to check you out, to see what you got to offer, because you are helpful. And that's what creates engagement. So, with that, let's pop into 9 ways to increase your engagement on social media. And we're going to have an exercise during this too. So even if you're watching the replay, don't think that you get out of this. You still need to participate, because I watch you guys and I reply to you guys even on the replays, which is awesome. Okay, so just a quick reflection on yesterday. Yesterday we talked about creating inspiring content, being consistent to establish loyal viewers, and encouraging your viewers to engage. Bam. We took care of all that here on the show from day one. So it's awesome to see that came from Facebook, by the way, yesterday's article. But it's good to see that others are catching on to what we've been doing forever. So now, today, let's talk about the 9 ways to increase your engagement. Number 1, and let me just make sure, see, I'm putting you guys on blast here. I'm like, let me just make sure everything is working here for this. So 9 ways to increase your engagement. Number 1, this one's a fun one. I just want to make sure I have all the comments cut up. Okay, cool, I do. Hey, Mickey. And Mickey, if you missed the beginning, I did have the random news we talked about you, because we had an invisible envelope to go with those invisible shirts of yours. So, number 1, this is a good one, and I don't even know if this acronym is out there. I totally made it up on the fly today, so we'll see. But number 1, SAL. S-A-L. Can anybody guess, even if you're watching the replay, what that is? What that stands for? SAL. S-A-L. What do you think that stands for? I will give you a hint. We talk about all 3 of these all the time. All the time. That's right. SAL stands for share, ask, listen. Very good. I love it. That's what it's all about. You have to first share something, right? That's part of the show up and deliver. You have to share something. And then you have to ask a question. And then you have to listen to the answer. That's what creates that engagement. Isn't that awesome? You can hear the dog. He's like sleeping, snoring a little. So share something. Let's talk about that. Some of you guys will see on my personal profile, what do I share? I share lots of things. I'm not talking about content necessarily, like, blog posts and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, I share things like today I said, what's everyone up to? Or I said something like, hey, happy Wednesday. What are you up to today? And then I get comments. Oh, I'm doing XYZ, or hey, Ed, and all this stuff. And I put a picture of me hanging out, and it was a beautiful day. I got to hang out in the backyard and work. So I was like, hey, you know what? I want to brighten someone's day. Say, hey, see what they're up to. Like, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And so that's part of sharing. So it's not just your content from your blog, from your business, and all of that stuff. No, I'm talking about, like, be a human. Be relatable. And then from there, you want to ask people, how's their day going? What are they up to? What are they doing? And then you want to listen to their answers. Why do you want to listen? Well, why do you have time to listen? Why should you make time to listen to them? Yeah, exactly. Because you want to engage. If you ask somebody something, you want to listen to what they say, and then you want to follow up. That creates that engagement, that conversation. It's just like texting. It's just like talking to you in person. All of that applies. So that's the SAL method. I'm just going to call it that. Your share, ask, and listen. So that's number 1. Number 2, create more video content. Why do you want to create more video content? Why is that a thing? Is it just because Facebook tells you to? No, it's not. Facebook wants you to go live. Yes, they want you to share live videos because they want you to be there. Vicky says, I need to post more on my personal profile. I talk about exercise today. Oh, good. Yeah. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Vicky. You are relatable to people. You can share whatever you're doing. It doesn't have to be work related. And you'll actually start seeing that more now on my Instagram too, for example. Because with my Instagram, I try to keep it like super, like, here's the books that I'm reading, here's me working, like super professional. And it's still professional, but today I ended up posting a picture of me and the dog. Because that's my world. And it helps, I think, make me more relatable for people coming to my profile and seeing that. Now, am I going to have a ton of them? No, I'm just gonna like just little nudges on my Instagram, because Instagram's a little different than Facebook. With Facebook, you're going to get everything. Most of it's business, because that's my life, but you're going to get a little bit of everything. And so it's just really going in and like seeing what you can do and how you can be relatable, because that's what people are going to relate to. And that's where that conversation is going to come up. Aaron says, videos allow people to get a sense of who you are. Exactly. So number 2 is create more video content. And that is where it comes into being really popular, because it's the closest thing we have to being in person with you. Like right now, you're staying at home, or some of you are in the kitchen, or some of you are in the car. This is the closest that you're going to be able to get to me right now, because I'm not literally sitting there or standing there or helping you in the kitchen. I'm over here, but this is as close as we can get. So it's really big to start doing video and to really get into that. And the reason why you want to do video is because that also helps you work smarter, not harder. Because then you can repurpose the things that you make so that then you can share it elsewhere on different mediums, different platforms, if that makes sense. Vicky says, show people who you are, let your personality shine. Yes, Vicky, I love it. I love it. And we're going to get to that point too. So number 1 is the SAL method, share, ask, listen. Number 2 is create more video content. Number 3 is look at what's trending in news, hashtags, and your posts. So I don't want you to just look at what's trending in the news or what's trending in hashtags and just put something out based off of that. I mean, it has to be something that you're connected to and that your audience can relate to. But I also want you to look at your posts. And I'm not even talking about like analytics. You might be like, Ed, I don't even deal with analytics, the reports and stuff. That's okay. What I want you to pay attention to, though, is what posts are you sharing that get the most comments, the most engagement? And then from there, seeing what you can do around that. You know, and then here's an example. My can opener video is one of the first, probably, quote, episodes, if you will, of me in the kitchen. That was a vulnerable moment of me being in the kitchen at someone else's house using a can opener that I had no idea how to use. And I feel like I should have known, but it's a fancy new style can opener that doesn't cut you. That video, you guys all loved. It was one of the best videos. And I realized, oh, okay, well, I guess people want to see me in the kitchen. It's not, I don't think it's exciting, but okay. And so I've kind of rolled with that as kind of one of my spin-off shows, if you will, of me in the kitchen, Ed in the kitchen. And then, and I have a good one coming. I don't know if I'll do it tonight, though, because I don't think I have something to actually cook, but I got to take a look. Anyway, so you find what's working for people, and then you see what else can I do around that. So that's why I say look at your other posts, not just what's trending in news, because you want to be able to connect with your audience. Let's see. Number 4. This is a big one, and this is where the exercise comes in. And you can do this now, you can do this on the replay, you can do this later when we're not live, I don't care, which is still the replay, but I was trying to make it so that it doesn't feel like you have to do it at this moment. Tag a friend. So this is a great exercise you can practice here on the show, just tagging a friend in the comments. And now, if you want to take it a step further, like I always encourage you to do, don't just tag them, but give them a reason why they should check out the show. And I'm using this as an example, but when you are reading someone else's post, looking up an article, whatever, if you think of somebody, tag them in the comments. Give them a reason why. Hey, I saw this article and I thought you would be interested because it's talking about the best ways to exercise when you don't have a gym membership. I don't know, I just made that up. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you are creating that engagement. You're starting that conversation with somebody. You know, I just gave actually this advice to my mom, which I actually need to take it when I go to the gym too. But she was talking about how she's not a gym person. She is now, but she never was before. and she loves going, and she realized that there's this one lady who seems super fit and knows what she's doing, at least it looks like it, from her being on the machines. And so my mom's like watching, and she's like, man, I want to do XYZ. And I was like, well, why don't you just start a conversation with her? Just go up and ask her, hey, can you show me how to use the elliptical a little bit better? Something like that. Now, I get it. It's super awkward because I don't even do that at the gym. I think I've done it once. But it's one of those things that it's just getting that conversation started. And that's a good way and it's an easy way here online, is by tagging somebody that that actually could benefit from this, whether it's a show, article, photo, video, whatever. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Number 5. Don't be afraid to share other people's valuable content with your followers. That's a big one. I was thinking about it today, and I thought, I feel like, and you guys let me know, even if you're watching the replay, maybe it's just me, but I feel like with the current social media platforms and the way things are, I think it almost feels like a no-no to share. I don't know if I can explain this correctly, but it's one of those things that the way things are set up, yes, we can share things out. You can share this broadcast, we can share articles and all that, and we do, but because everything is on one news feed, I almost feel like a lot of us don't share because it's not about us. Does that make sense? I'm trying to break it down in a way that makes sense. But basically, I feel like the way social media is set up, and I think probably the reason why I feel this way is because it went from join the conversation to it's all about me, mainstream-wise. Not literally me, but mainstream-wise. And I feel like because it did that mainstream, it's like, okay, I have a profile, I have a feed, I only share my stuff. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense to you guys, even if you're watching the replay? So when I say share valuable, other people's, Vicky says totally agree. Good. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. So when I say share other people's valuable content, I don't mean, just share their content like, oh, okay, well, I needed to share something today, so let's just share. No. Again, it's like tagging your friend in the comments and letting them know why. It's the same thing with sharing. Share something. Hey, Erica, welcome. Share something with people, but give them the reason why. So, for instance, today, you'll see below this post here on the Facebook page, you'll see Susan. She was a guest on our show a while back. She's fantastic. And I have to still finish the replay of her episode today because it was really good and I had to go to my gym appointment. But her content was so good, I wanted to share it both in the Hey Ed community and here on the page. And then I gave the reason why I'm sharing it. So I didn't just share it. I mean, that's step 1 for all of us. If we haven't shared before, that's step 1. But step 2 would be to share a reason why. Because now you're connecting with your audience and you're explaining why they should check this out, what it was about for you, maybe, and then that gives them a little bit more encouragement, a little more nudge to say, oh, okay, well, Ed liked this. He found some value in this phrase or at this timestamp. I should probably check it out real quick. Let me just see. And then you can start the conversation. Let me see the comments. Vicky says, why share other content when I want mine to be seen? Exactly. That's how I think social media has, from mainstream wise, that's the attitude is, why should I share somebody else's content when I'm trying to get my stuff seen? That's why I think we don't share as much. And I think that's why it just doesn't feel normal for us for that reason. Paula says, that's very valuable. I learned that and have been sharing great content from other organizations that can benefit my followers. Yes, Paula, yes. That's the big one. That's what makes you stand out, you guys. Especially if it's your business page now, sharing other business page information, tagging those businesses. That's how you create that engagement. That's how you get noticed. That is what you need to be doing. Aaron says, I often share other people's content, but add my own commentary. Exactly. That's perfect, Aaron. Exactly. And that's what I mean. That and tagging people in the comments, the same thing. You don't want to be spammy, of course not. So that's why you want to be intentional with it, and you want to give that why, because then that gives people something to look forward to, and something like, oh, okay, let me check it out. So that was number 5. Number 6, something we all know and love, GIFs. You call them GIFs, I call them GIFs, whatever. GIF. Share some of those. Share them in your posts. Share them in your comments. Those are fun. They can give more of a reaction. Heck, if you can, and I know some of you guys know I do this, if you can, do a quick video for the comment. So what does that look like? Because I know you're going to ask. So let me show you. If I go to a comment, so let me see. Well, I can't do it on this one. So let me go to my page, and I'm going to go to a thing from earlier. So we're going to go to my post from Susan. Okay, there we go. So if I go to the comments, so you can see I'm in the comments, and I hit the camera pops up, and then there is that little icon, and Vicky's face, but there's the little camera icon. When I tap on that, it actually gives me, let's see if I can, it actually gives me my camera facing forward. So I can do, I think it's only like a 10 or 15 second clip. It's super short. But play with that. And do that as your reply. Why? Because like we talked about, creating more video is what you want to do. That was number 2. Create more video content. Well, do that in the comments. Now people have a reason to click because they're like, oh, well, you replied in the comments, but what did you say? Let me tap on the play button to hear what you said. How fun is that? It makes you stand out because how many other people are doing that? That's right, crickets. Crickets. So understand that's a big one. Let's see, number 7. Oh, I like this one. Just share good vibes, positive vibes. I know not everything can always be happy. There's going to be a time and a place where, you're just going to be down and out, and you're probably going to share that. That's fine. We all do. But realize that there is a difference between that and always sharing down and out and negative posts. When you do that, there's no engagement. If you do that consistently, you're going to be blocked. People aren't going to be watching your stuff. They're going to snooze you. They're going to remove you as someone they follow because they got their own problems. They got their own things that they're dealing with. And Facebook especially, because we all spend so much time on here, it's notorious for a lot of these negative posts when it comes to political, when it comes to XYZ, all of these things. And some of us, we share a little too much of our emotions publicly. And that has an effect on your followers. That has an effect on your potential followers. So understand you need to have balance there. And if you can, just really try to promote positive, good vibes. Because that's what's going to attract people to you. That it's just that's the thing. Erica says, more positive content is needed on social. Exactly. You heard it from Erica. She's a Reframe It pro. That is the thing. Negative posts attract people who love drama. Yeah, and we're not about that. Cut the negativity, peace to the drama. Like, no. We can't be doing that. So that is number 7. Number 8, huge, ties into this guy right here. Follow up. Be responsive. Technically it's be responsive, but it's the same thing. Be responsive. If you put something out there, somebody replies, respond. That's it. That's all you got to do is respond. It's that engagement. It's that conversation. It's how you keep things going. Let me see. Aaron said, I find it very frustrating when people consistently post, quote, I can't say what's going on, but it sucks, post. Yeah, I know. It's one of those things like, okay, cool, but you could have kept that to yourself. Like, no offense, but come on. Vicky says, I hate owners who continuously rant and are negative. Well, and that's the thing. You guys, whether it's your personal profile or your business profile, everyone's watching. When you post it, everyone's going to see it. Even if your privacy settings are different, everyone's going to see it. That's the mindset you got to think of. And when you're constantly putting out the negative, down out vibes, and you're constantly hating on things, people are going to see that. They're going to judge it. Whether you're a 9-to-5er looking for another job, or you're looking for entrepreneurship, or both, people are going to judge off of that. I hate to tell you, but that's the way it is these days. That's your resume is right there. You know, it's the same thing if you're partying all the time, which no shame in that. Like, have a good time. But if you're constantly, hanging on the toilet and constantly having bottles all over the place, not a good look. Who's going to want that? It's that kind of stuff that we have to think about. And if that's your lifestyle, I mean, that's your lifestyle. So, whatever, but understand that you need to mix it up a bit. And I'm not talking about a drink. I'm talking about, getting out there and showing more of, you out on your lunch break, enjoying the sunshine, you helping the lady across the street, you walking a dog, even though it's not your dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do something to just make yourself feel better and to promote some positivity. Hopefully that's making sense. I'm not trying to say, don't be you, but it's one of those things like, people are going to judge, and that's the thing. So Aaron says, Ed, you are the king of responsiveness. Thank you. I try. It's really a lot of fun. I will tell you guys this. I constantly, and this is with you guys here on the page, but also in my Hey Ed community, I'm constantly connecting with you. That's why I tell you, even if you're watching the replay, you better be hitting me up in the comments because I want to connect with you. And I'm constantly thinking, okay, Ed, how are you going to manage this when it starts like really getting into the hundreds and thousands of people commenting all the time? And it's like, oh man, I don't know. But how cool would that be? How much fun would that be? How cool would that be to just be able to connect with you guys all day long and that's it. Like, that's all I had to do and share what I know. Like, that's a dream. And I'm living the dream already. But I mean, that, you know what I mean? That's just really cool. And I can't imagine not doing this. I always fear like that day is going to come where everything's just like, and I got to find a 9-to-5. No disrespect to 9-to-5s, because at some point I may need you. But it's one of those things where it's like, I would be really sad if I couldn't do what I'm doing right now, because I love this stuff. And this is cool, Aaron says, good problem to have. It is. So that was number 8. So number 9, be you, because everyone else is taken. That goes back to what Vicky said earlier. It's really, you just really have to be yourself. And that takes a while. You guys have seen here, for those who have been following me, who are my seasoned viewers, you guys have seen over time how much I've come out of my shell on video. It's taken a long time. And some days are even better than others, but it takes time. The way you get there, though, is by starting and doing something consistently. And it's going to be hard. It's going to take a lot of time, like we talked about yesterday, to build up your viewer relationship, to build up any relationship. It takes time. Even if think about if you're married, you can think about how long it took before you guys met, before you started dating, before you started to get married. If you're single, you can think about how long it takes for you to go up and talk to somebody. Then how long does it take you to go out on your first date? How long does it take you to go from dating to, hey, can I call you my girlfriend? Hey, do you want to get married? I mean, I don't know if you're really just saying hey, but You know what I'm saying? Like that's the stuff that you have to remember. It's all a relationship, and it's all about relationship building. It's not just, hey, I checked you out. You look good. How about we go get married? All right, cool. You got me covered? Good. I got you covered. Done. Like, how about now kids? How about the home? Like, if you're moving that quick, there's an issue. And that's the same with business. You have to take it slow. And that's the same with being on social media. You have to just be you and show up and deliver and engage with people. You know, it's just like that. So how about that? So real quick, let me run down the 9 just for those who want to recap, who want, just short, sweet, and concise. So 9 ways to increase your engagement on social media. Number 1, SAL method. I just made this up. Share, ask, listen. Share, what are you doing? Ask people how their day is going. What are they working on? Listen to their answers and follow up. Number 2, create more video content. Number 3, look at what's trending in the news, hashtags, and what your own posts are getting in terms of engagement. What are people reacting to? Let's see. Number 4, tag a friend. You can do that exercise right here on the show. Tag a friend in the comments to start the conversation. Give them a reason why. Like, why should they check out this show? What sparked their name in your head when you watched something? Was it a quote? Was it something I went over in the exercises? Number 5, don't be afraid to share other people's valuable content with your followers. Again, give them a reason why you're sharing it. Number 6, share gifts. You may refer to them as GIFs, but share a gift and make that expression. You can go one step further and in the comments do your own video. Number 7, share positive vibes. Just be positive. Share those good vibes because people need and want good vibes. Number 8, be responsive. Goes back to that engagement, goes back to that follow-up. You have to be responsive. You can't just put things out there, ask people, and let them respond and then leave them hanging. Because then it's like, well, why am I even going to bother next time? So be responsive. Number 9, be you because everyone else is taken. And it takes time to be you in another form, if that makes sense, here on video. Because you're not used to video. Or some of you may be used to video and you're not used to podcasts or in-person connecting with people. I don't know. Just run with it. So there's that. Like I said, all the links you need are in the top comment, or should be in the top comment. I am going to, before I switch over the show, I'm going to leave you with this clip I pulled from Monday's episode. See, this is the beauty of doing video. You can take video, you can shoot video, and then you can pull little clips from it. So, some of you might have already seen this, but we are going to show this right now because it is hilarious. So this is from Monday's episode. And I unplugged the headphones there for you. Let me switch this over. Oh, it's not going to show you? Oh, booger. Okay, so that's not exciting to see on my desktop, which is kind of messy. So here, don't worry, I have you covered. Let's go here. It's so funny how it does that. So let's go here, and then I'm going to move this. And we're going to put this down. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, here we go. So ready for this, guys? It's going to be super short. Be best. What? Be best. What? So there's your little clip from the other day, and I hope you guys had a fantastic evening, morning, afternoon, whatever, wherever you're tuning in. And I'm going to leave you guys with this, and I'll see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow. Take care.